Japan is working on eradicating Down syndrome in future newborns. Why do some people want others to be born with a defined disability? You're a commie neighbor. Oh, what a surprise. And so what does this say? Japanese scientists successfully removed the extra chromosome, Down syndrome. Okay, so this is the comment right here. I did see this. I just, for some reason, didn't notice it. And so obviously this is a great thing. Does it work retroactively? Uh-oh. And let's see here, applying God, this is amazing breakthrough. Are there actually a lot of people that are complaining about this or not? We got demented individuals calling Japan a Nazi country over this, and it's not Disneyland for pedos. Wait, what is this here? I prefer the Icelandic approach as almost only Down syndrome birth through abortion based. Yeah, I guess so, right? And so anyway, yes, having Down syndrome is bad. That's right. It's not good for you. And anybody that knows anything, if you've ever been in a public school, you'd know this, right? It's obviously bad. What is this here? Down syndrome is not a disease. Well, it's a syndrome. It doesn't say Down's disease, does it? I mean, like, no, it doesn't. It's not fatal. What makes it debilitating is ableism. Like, actually, fuck you. So Down syndrome is not debilitating. Ableism is what's holding people with Down syndrome back. Yeah, well, I don't know about that. And there are thousands of people with Downs that have more heart, love, and intelligence than you ever will. I can agree with the first two, not with the last one. The reason why is because they have Down syndrome. That's the reason why. Yeah, I totally get wanting treatment for a debilitating disorder. The difference here is that Down syndrome isn't debilitating. People just want it gone because it makes them uncomfortable. I think focusing on energy on treatments for debilitating disorders is great. So, number one, this is a massive Japan W. If we could snap our fingers and make it to where no other person ever was born with Down syndrome, this would be a pure act of mercy, and it would be better for everybody. What people might not understand with Down syndrome is that whenever a parent has a kid with Down syndrome, that doesn't necessarily put a strain just on that kid, and that kid's life is debilitated, but it also creates a problem for the parents as well. Like, I know a lot of parents, like, my understanding is that the rate or the probability of Down syndrome occurring is much higher whenever you go into a more advanced age, right? So, like, if you have kids over, like, 45, for example, or 50, there's, like, a higher probability of you having Down syndrome, right? And so, yeah, 35 plus, uh-oh. And so anyway, so that's my point. It's a win. Yeah, it's extreme difficulty for my whole family. Exactly, right? And so this puts a huge strain on the whole family. And, like, I don't know how many times, like, there was this one kid that was in, like, my elementary school, and he was just, like, he was in, like, a wheelchair. Like, he was, like, one of those kids that's, like, he's just, like, standing there, he's, like, in a wheelchair, and he's, like, just, you know, doing, like, this, right? Like, totally fucking, like, totally cooked. And so, I don't mean it in a bad way, I just mean, like, it's totally fucked, right? Totally fucked, absolutely fucked up. If I could push a button and eliminate that condition from ever happening to another person ever again in the world, I would push it instantly. Instantaneously, I would push that button. And I think anybody who doesn't is cruel. And so anyway, this is the story. Is that whenever I remember him in school, because obviously, like, we were the same age, around the same age. So we were, you know, went to elementary school partially together, middle school together, high school together. And so I saw this kid growing up the entire time, and, like, his parents were all the way with him. And this is, like, not recently, but probably like 8 or 9 years ago. I saw, like, his parents try to push him around in his wheelchair around in the neighborhood because he lives in this area, right? And they were so old they could barely push his wheelchair. And I wonder how they would feel about these random communist teenagers saying that it's actually a bad thing. That's it. It's so sad. Yeah, like, I watched this. Like, I very rarely watch something and I'm like, oh, that's pretty sad. But it is. That fucking sucks, man. And here's the thing, is that one day that parent's going to die, and what's going to happen to that kid? That's awful, man. These people support terrorists and do not support getting rid of basically a curse. Who would want to be born with Down syndrome? Well, I think that a lot of people, like, it's not about, again, like, I don't know. I mean, it's just, the people that say this are just virtue signaling teenage girls. That's it. They're virtue signaling teenage girls. There's no reason to even worry about this, but there are a lot of them, though. And that's the problem. People with Down syndrome should be treated with respect and held as equal to everyone else. And Down syndrome is a life-determining disease that most people would prefer not to have. These two statements can coexist. So Cody here actually has a base take. Yeah, just because you want to get rid of Down syndrome doesn't mean that you want to exterminate people with Down syndrome. This is a very big difference, right? Like, like, this is the same opinion that I have with, like, this is gonna be, like, kind of a surprising take. And, like, I don't even really believe this, but, like, I do in the context of, like, a moral framework, which I don't have. Well, I do have, but it's not the same as anybody else's, which is it's been a big problem in my life. I would make it illegal to breed pugs. I would. They're disgusting. They're born with genetic defects. They live their entire life in abject pain, and just, like, they're basically the things that make pugs valuable are things that are genetic defects. Like, for example, the curled tail. And I think that type of breeding is very unhealthy. Now, if you want to do this, like, I mean, like, this is the thing, is, like, I say that, but would I really do that? No, not really, because we breed animals and we slaughter them all the time. So, like, is it really that much more evil? But what I really don't like about it is I don't like whenever people buy animals and then they love the animals, but you don't realize that buying these animals creates an ecosystem and an economy for more of them to exist, and every single one of them that exists is a form of torture. Like, they are living in pain and torture their whole life, right? You clap your hands too loud, their heart explodes. And so that's just weird. I've seen this before. And you can see how many of these animals, I think, have been bred in ways that make them cuter, but not necessarily as, you know, medically or, you know, what's the word? Genetically, you know, like in good health, right? That's what I'm saying. Bioengineered. Yeah, exactly, right? Less functional. Sorry, I don't really have the right word for this. I never really thought I'd be talking about this right now. But yes, anyway, is it food too? Sure, I think it's food too. Absolutely. But my point is that this is obviously a bad thing. Like, it's so easy to say that people with Down syndrome, wanting a deformed animal as your pet is messed up, to be honest, and also mutilating said pet after you get it. Yeah, I think so too, and I wouldn't really have a problem with it if somebody was just like a sadistic psychopath, but you can't love this animal and then also treat it this way. If you want to be a sadistic psychopath slaughterhouse murderer, then go ahead, but you can't go and do that and be like, oh, I love my little baby so much. No, you don't. Your baby can't breathe. Stop it. Stop it. Stop acting like you care. That's what makes me mad. It's not one, it's both of them. That's what I think. They're being dishonest? Yes, exactly. And anyway, I'll go through and I'll look at a few more of these. Is being fat a disability? Of course it is. It's absolutely a disability. If you don't think it is, then watch one of them walk up some stairs. Of course not.